So till then, I am going to present my screen. So I am presenting my full screen. When the screen becomes visible to your screen, just tell me. Ramanikra, is my
Yes,
screen visible to you now?
yes, sir, the screen is visible.
Okay, fine. So I'm going to share the PDF, and today we are going to start the new chapter of chemistry, that is matter around us pure? Our previous chapter was matter in our surrounding, in which we discussed what is matter, what are properties of matter, what are characteristics of matter, and various phenomena like boiling, evaporation, latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization, and so on. When I am sharing my screen, if you require, you can take the screenshots for making your notes. So the second chapter is matter around us pure? In this chapter, first of all, we will study the classification of matter. Can you see on the screen classification of matter? Rama,
Yes, sir.
okay. So here from the center you can see we have written matter. Matter is classified on two bases. The first basis for classification of matter is physical classification, in which we study the physical properties of matter. And the second basis of classification of matter is chemical classification, in which we study the chemical composition and chemical properties of matter. On the basis of physical classification or physical properties, matter is classified into three states. These three states of matter are solids, liquids, and gases. We studied this physical classification in first chapter. In this chapter, we will study the chemical classification of matter. Chemical classification of matter means classification of matter on the basis of chemical composition and chemical properties. On this basis, every matter is classified into two forms. Okay? These are pure matter and mixtures. So on the basis of chemical composition, matter is classified into two types. These are pure matter and mixtures. Pure matter is further classified into two types. These are elements and compounds. So how many types of pure matter are there? Only two types are there. These are elements and compounds. Elements are further classified into three types. These are metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So three types of elements are there: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Whereas compounds are classified into two types. These are inorganic compounds and organic compounds. Mixtures are impure form of matter, and they are classified broadly into two types. These are homogeneous mixtures, also called solutions, and heterogeneous mixtures or simply mixtures. So proceeding further, let's move to pure substances. What do you mean by pure substances? The word substance itself means pure. तो सब्सटेंस के पहले एक ये प्रीफिक्स प्योर लगाना नेसेसरीली नहीं है, बिकॉज सब्सटेंस इटसेल्फ मीन्स प्योर फॉर्म ऑफ मैटर. What is pure substance or substance? Pure substance may be defined as homogeneous material which contains particles of only one kind and has a definite set of properties. They are of two types, namely elements and compounds. Example, metals like iron, silver, etc., and compounds like water, sodium chloride, sodium carbonate, calcium oxide, etc., are pure forms of matter. So, pure form of matter includes only two types of matter. These two types of pure matter are elements and compounds. Now, let's see what are the characteristics of pure substances. The characteristics of pure substances are as follows. First, a pure substance is always homogeneous. Homogeneous means in this type of substances, all the particles are uniformly distributed throughout the bulk of the substance. जितने भी इसके कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं, जितने भी पार्टिकल्स होते हैं, ये सारे पार्टिकल्स इक्वली एंड यूनिफॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड होते हैं पूरे सब्सटेंस में. So one of the important characteristic of pure substance is that a pure substance is homogeneous as it contains particles of only one kind uniformly distributed throughout the bulk of the compound. A pure substance has a definite composition as well as a fixed melting point and boiling point. One important characteristic of pure substance is that a pure substance always have definite melting points and boiling points. For example, water is a pure substance because it has a fixed melting point of 0 degrees Celsius and fixed boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. Another important characteristic of pure substance is a pure substance cannot be separated into other kinds of matter by simple physical means. ठीक है? Elements and compounds, they cannot be separated into other kinds of matter or other elements or compounds by physical means like filtration, distillation, sedimentation, sublimation, magnetic separation. These are various physical means of separation. So pure substances cannot be separated into different components by simple physical means. What are the characteristics of mixtures now? A mixture may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. This means the constituents may be uniformly distributed or may not be uniformly distributed. What is homogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture is that mixture in which all the components are uniformly or equally distributed throughout the bulk of the mixture. Whereas heterogeneous means non-uniform or unequal distribution of components throughout the bulk of the mixture. So a mixture is always, a mixture may be homogeneous or heterogeneous in nature. The second important characteristic is a mixture can be separated into other kinds of matter by physical means. For example, filtration, sublimation, distillation, centrifugation, magnetic separation, chromatography. These are different methods, physical methods of separation of components. Then a mixture does not have a fixed composition and a fixed melting and boiling point. A mixture do not have definite melting points and boiling points. So melting points and boiling points are not the specific characteristics of mixtures. They are the specific characteristics of elements and compounds. Now, types of pure substances. First, elements. Pure substances, we already studied that they are of two types. These are elements and compounds. So what are elements? An element is pure substance that is composed of only one kind of atoms. How can we define elements? Element is a form of matter which consists of only one kind of atoms. They cannot be broken down into simpler substances by physical or chemical methods. At present, total of 118 elements discovered so far, and these are present in the modern periodic table. Here I have a periodic table to show you some elements. See this periodic table. The first element with sky blue color is hydrogen. Then towards the right side, helium, He. Then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, fluorine, argon, potassium means K, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, gallium, germanium, arsenic, selenium, chromium, bromine, then krypton, rubidium, strontium, ytterbium, zirconium, etc. Here in this periodic table, I have taken the simplest one so that I can tell you what are these elements specifically meant for. The elements which are present in sky blue color. Are you able to see this sky blue color? Hydrogen, helium, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, phosphorus, sulfur, fluorine, argon, selenium towards the right side and hydrogen on the left side. These elements are non-metals. All these elements which are shown by sky blue color or light green color are non-metals. And the elements which are shown by Deep blue color in the periodic table are all metals. ये सब metals हैं. कौन? जो deep blue color से शो किए गए हैं. और ये जो यहाँ पे आप देखिए लाइट पिंक कलर से शोन है, जहाँ पे कर्सर है, they all are metalloids. So metalloids include boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium, and astatine. These elements are metalloids, and the two horizontal rows at the bottom of this periodic table are also metals. They are heavy metals and they are radioactive in nature. So proceeding to next, characteristics of elements. Is the screen visible clearly to all of you? Rama,
Yes, sir.
everything is clearly visible now? And am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. If you face any problem in vision or in audio, then you just indicate me. Okay? Now,
Okay, sir.
characteristics of elements. What are different characteristics of elements? Each element consists of only one kind of atoms. Every element have a specific kind of atoms, only one kind of atoms. No elements have same kind of atoms. No two elements have same kind of atoms. Here two is missing. No two elements, correct it. No two elements have same kind of atoms. For example, the atoms of sodium metal and atoms of potassium metal are entirely different. Similarly, atoms of aluminium and atoms of carbon are entirely different. Their atoms cannot be same. So no two elements have same kind of atoms. Next property, an element may exist as individual atoms or as a molecule made up of same kind of atoms. Elements like iron, Fe, aluminium, Al, mercury, Hg, gold, Au, etc. exist as individual atoms, single atoms, and are called monoatomic molecules. So what are monoatomic molecules? Monoatomic molecules are those molecules which consist of only one atom. Monoatomic molecules consist of only one atom. Then elements like hydrogen, H2, oxygen, O2, nitrogen, N2, etc. exist as diatomic molecules. What is meant by diatomic molecules? Those molecules which consist of two atoms. Those molecules which consist of two atoms are called diatomic molecules. For example, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. And the elements which consist of more than two atoms are called polyatomic molecules. Molecules which consist of more than two atoms are called polyatomic molecules. Examples are phosphorus. What is the molecule of phosphorus? P4. Means in one molecule of phosphorus, 4 atoms of phosphorus are bonded together. Similarly, sulfur is a polyatomic molecule because one molecule of sulfur consists of 8 atoms bonded together. So sulfur is a polyatomic molecule consisting of 8 atoms. Phosphorus is a polyatomic molecule consisting of 4 atoms, P4 and S8. Then next property, an element is pure homogeneous substance. I already told you what is meant by homogeneous. So an element is purely homogeneous in nature. They have their own fixed melting points and boiling points. Who? Elements. So elements have fixed melting points and boiling points. That means if we know the melting point of a substance, then we can easily identify what element will it be. If we know the boiling point of an element, we will come to know what element will it be. So melting points and boiling points are used for identification of elements. So we say that elements have fixed melting points and boiling points. An atom is the smallest particle of an element taking part in a chemical reaction. Okay. Elements may exist in the form of polyatomic molecules. They may exist in the form of diatomic molecules or even monatomic molecules. But the smallest particle of element which take part in chemical reaction is always a single atom. So atoms are the smallest particle of an element that take part in a chemical reaction. An element may chemically react with another to form compounds. दो या दो से अधिक एलिमेंट्स आपस में कंबाइन करेंगे केमिकली, देन दे फॉर्म कंपाउंड्स. क्लियर? एनी डाउट टिल नाउ? एनीवन? Is there anyone in the class who is having some doubts till now in this chapter? If yes, then you can unmute your mic and tell me your doubts. So may I assume that there is no doubt? Okay, so I'll proceed further. So classification of elements. Earlier I told you that elements are classified into three types. These are metals, non-metals and metalloids. Let's look at the difference in physical properties of metals and non-metals. ठीक है, अब हम देखते हैं कि मेटल्स एंड नॉन मेटल्स की फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज में कौन कौन से डिफरेंसेस हैं. फर्स्ट पॉइंट, फिजिकल स्टेट. व्हाट इज द फिजिकल स्टेट ऑफ मेटल्स? Metals are generally solids at room temperature except mercury, which is a liquid metal. So most of the metals exist in solid state. The only exception is mercury, which is found in liquid state at room temperature. Non-metals except bromine, which is liquid at room temperature, are either solid or gases at room temperature. So most of the non-metals are either solids or gases at room temperature, except bromine, which is the only liquid non-metal. Then the second important property is hardness. Metals are generally hard, except alkali metals like sodium, potassium, etc. What are alkali metals? Alkali metals are those metals whose oxides dissolve in water completely and form bases. So, may I repeat? Alkali metals are those metals whose oxides are basic in nature and are completely soluble in water. And these metals are sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. That belongs to first vertical group in the periodic table, except hydrogen. So, metals are generally hard, except alkali metals like sodium, potassium, etc. These alkali metals are so soft that they can be cut even with the help of a scissor or knife. Then non-metals are generally soft. Some exceptions are diamond, which is a form of carbon, and boron, which are hard non-metals. So diamond and boron are hard non-metals. Actually, diamond is not a non-metal. The non-metal is carbon. Diamond is a physical form of carbon. Among the naturally occurring forms of carbon, some important are diamond, graphite, fullerene, kajal, etc., coke, etc. So diamond and boron are generally hard, and other non-metals are generally soft. Another property is density. Except alkali metals, which are soft metals, all metals have high density. Clear? So all metals have high density except alkali metals like sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, etc. Non-metals generally have low density. However, there is an exception. Diamond. Diamond has the maximum density. Diamond is the metal which has maximum density discovered so far. Then next important property, fourth property is melting points and boiling points. Metals generally have high melting and boiling points, except mercury, which is liquid and have low melting point. And alkali metals like sodium, potassium, etc. also have low melting points and boiling points. So most of the metals have high melting points and boiling points, except mercury and alkali metals. Non-metals except carbon and boron have low melting points and boiling points. Then fifth property is Malleability. What is malleability? Who can answer? What do you mean by malleability? So it is shown
Sir,
on your screen. So
sir,
can anyone read?
sir,
Yeah,
sir,
answer.
sir, the substance which are drawn into thin sheets are called malleable. No, the yes.
Sir.
Yeah. You are right. Correct.
Uh,
Try once
yes,
more.
sir. Sir, the substance which are drawn into thin sheets are called malleable.
Malleable substances. Fine. So malleable, correct, wonderful. So malleability is the property by virtue of which metals can be converted into thin sheets on hammering. All those substances which when hammered get converted into thin sheets are called malleable substances, and the property is called malleability. Most of the metals are malleable. Most. So metals are generally malleable except mercury and alkali metals like sodium, potassium, etc. So mercury and alkali metals are non-malleable. Their sheets cannot be drawn. Other than these metals, all metals are generally malleable. Gold is the most malleable metal. Which is the most malleable metal? Gold. Non-metals are non-malleable. Rather, they are brittle. The opposite property of malleability is brittleness. Brittleness means they shatter into pieces when they are hammered. When non-metals like carbon or coke is hammered, they break into smaller pieces. So this property to get broken down into smaller pieces is known as brittleness. So non-metals are non-malleable, rather they are brittle. They shatter into pieces upon hammering. So here I will tell you a story. Besides before going to sixth point, I am going to narrate a story. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We want to listen a story. Rama,
Yes, sir.
ओके हिंदी में सुनाता हूँ. एक बार यूएस में एक डिस्कवरी हुई. वहां के साइंटिस्ट ने एक डिस्कवरी किया और उस डिस्कवरी में क्या निकाला उन्होंने? दे मेड अ थिनेस्ट वायर ऑफ गोल्ड. Thinnest wire of gold. So US scientists prepared thinnest wire of gold. This gold wire was so thin that this could not be seen even with the help of simple microscope. इतना पतला वायर बनाया कि वो सिंपल माइक्रोस्कोप में भी नहीं दिखाई देता था. नेकेड आई से देखना तो बहुत दूर की बात है. सो उन्होंने बोला कि हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी एडवांस है कि हम इतना पतला तार बना सकते हैं, इतनी पतली शीट बना सकते हैं कि वो नेकेड आई से दिखाई नहीं देगा और इवन सिंपल माइक्रोस्कोप से नहीं दिखाई देगा, कंपाउंड माइक्रोस्कोप से ही दिखाई देगा. तो जापानीज साइंटिस्ट को लगा कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, किसी मेटल का इतनी पतला वायर कैसे बन सकता है. तो उन्होंने यूएस से रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आप अपना वो वायर मुझे भेज दो, वी ऑल्सो वॉन्ट टू सी इट. ठीक है, यूएस एग्री हो गया, उसने भेज दिया जापान. और जब वो जापान चला गया गोल्ड का वायर, तो जापानीज साइंटिस्ट ने उसको अपने कंपाउंड माइक्रोस्कोप में देखा, ऑब्जर्व किया और कुछ दिनों के बाद उसको वापस यूएस भेज दिया. तो यूएस के साइंटिस्ट ने क्या किया, उन्होंने देखा चलो देखते हैं जापान वालों ने कुछ इसमें खुरापात तो नहीं की. जब उन्होंने कंपाउंड माइक्रोस्कोप में देखा तो क्या देखा कि इस गोल्ड के थिन वायर के सेंटर में जापानीज ने क्या किया था, एक होल कर दिया था. वो इतना पतला वायर, उसमें भी उन्होंने एक छोटा सा वायर के अंदर छोटा सा होल कर दिया और नीचे कमेंट लिख दिया कि आवर साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी इज मच एडवांस देन योर्स. आप इतना छोटी चीज बना सकते हो, हम उससे भी छोटा होल उसके अंदर कर सकते हैं. चाइना वालों से रहा नहीं गया. ठीक है, क्योंकि चाइनीज भी अपने आप को मानते हैं कि उनका साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत एडवांस है. उन्होंने यूएस से रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आप भेजिए उस वायर को, वी ऑल्सो वांट टू सी इट. ठीक है, यूएस एग्रीड और यूएस ने क्या किया, उस वायर को भेज दिया चाइना. चाइना के साइंटिस्ट ने उसको ऑब्जर्व किया और उन्होंने ऑब्जर्व क्या किया कि देयर वाज अ वेरी थिन वायर और उसके सेंटर में एक होल था. तो चाइनीज को लगा कि यार हमें भी कुछ ना कुछ करना चाहिए, वर्ल्ड को प्रूव करना चाहिए कि हमारी साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी उनसे ज़्यादा एडवांस है। तो उन्होंने क्या किया, जो जापानीज ने उसके अंदर छोटा सा होल किया था, उस होल में डायगोनली एक प्लेट चिपका दी गोल्ड की। मतलब चाइना की टेक्नोलॉजी और ज्यादा एडवांस है, इतने बारीक इतने छोटे से होल के अंदर उन्होंने क्या किया, एक प्लेट चिपका दी और यूएस को भेज दिया। यूएस ने जब उसको देखा तो बोला अरे गजब है यार, हम सोच रहे थे कि सबसे एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी है, लेकिन हुआ क्या, चाइनीज तो हमसे आगे निकल गए, उन्होंने उसमें प्लेट भी चिपका दी। तब इंडिया से भी नहीं रहा गया। इंडिया ने सोचा कि चलो भाई हम भी तो देख लें कि क्या क्या डिस्कवरी चल रही है। इंडिया ने भी यूएस से रिक्वेस्ट किया, बोला एक काम कीजिए, वो वायर हमें भी भेजिए भाई, हम भी देखना चाहते हैं कि उसमें क्या है। तो इंडिया आया वायर, इंडिया के साइंटिस्ट ने क्या किया, उसको कंपाउंड माइक्रोस्कोप में ऑब्जर्व किया, अपने पास रखा 8-10 दिन, और उसके बाद उसको यूएस भेज दिया वापस। जब यूएस के साइंटिस्ट ने देखा तो उन्होंने मालूम क्या देखा, कि जो चाइना ने उसके अंदर प्लेट लगाई थी होल के अंदर, उस प्लेट में लिखा था मेड इन इंडिया। व्हाट वाज रिटन, मेड इन इंडिया। तो इवन कितनी छोटी सी प्लेट, कितने छोटा सा वायर, उसके अंदर होल, और उसमें भी क्या लिख दिया इंडियंस ने, मेड इन इंडिया। इसका मतलब क्या है, इंडियन टेक्नोलॉजी इज स्टिल द मोस्ट डेवलप्ड वन। तो लाइक दिस स्टोरी और नॉट?
Yes, sir.
आप
Yes, sir.
तो ये स्टोरी
Yes,
मैंने
sir.
आपको, ओके, ये स्टोरी मैंने आपको क्यों सुनाई, इसलिए कि आप याद रख सकें कि गोल्ड इज द मोस्ट मैलिएबल एंड मोस्ट डक्टाइल मेटल। इतनी पतली सीट, इतना पतला वायर सिर्फ किसका बन सकता है, ओनली गोल्ड का। गोल्ड के अलावा किसी दूसरे एलिमेंट का नहीं बन सकता, कभी नहीं बन सकता। तो गोल्ड इज द मोस्ट मैलिएबल मेटल। फाइन। So proceeding to next one, ductility, sixth property. Nakul, can you read what is ductility? Nakul, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Yatika,
Sir,
can you
forms
read?
out.
Sir,
I think Nakul
Nakul.
is not there.
Yes,
Yatika
sir.
Kuswaha, read 6 point.
Sir, Nakul.
Reshka, are you there? क्या बात है भाई?
Yes, sir.
Then who will read? Anyone can open your mic and read. Myra, can you?
Sir, Nakul.
Property by virtue of
Okay, Pragya Kuswaha, now you may read.
Sir, Nakul.
Rama, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So you may read the sixth property. These people are
Yes.
delaying. Okay.
Yes, sir. Property by virtue of which metals can be drawn into thin wires upon stretching.
Okay. So what is ductility? Ductility is the property of metals by which metals can be stretched into thin wires. When they are stretched, when they are pulled, they get converted into thin wires. So metals are generally ductile, except mercury and alkali metals like sodium, potassium, etc. Gold is the most ductile metal. Non-metals are non-ductile, rather they are brittle. Then the seventh important property is luster or shining appearance of metals. Luster means shining appearance. The freshly cut surfaces of metals have shining appearance. So metals are generally lustrous. except mercury and alkali metals like sodium, potassium, etc. These metals, the mercury is lustrous, but sodium and potassium are non-lustrous. They are dull in nature. ये काले से होते हैं और इनमें शाइन नहीं होता. Besides this, all other metals are lustrous. Non-metals except diamond and iodine are non-lustrous. Rather, they have dull appearance. Diamond is lustrous, iodine is lustrous. These are two exceptions. ठीक है? All non-metals are non-lustrous except diamond and graphite. Another important property of elements metals is sonority. Sonority means property by virtue of which metals produce ringing sounds. When these metals are hit with hard objects, then they produce ringing sounds. जैसे आपकी बेल होती है, स्कूल बेल. When it is hit, then it produces ringing sounds. So metals are generally sonorous. They produce ringing sounds, except mercury and alkali metals. Non-metals are non-sonorous in nature. Next property, electrical and thermal conductivity. So metals are good conductor of electricity and heat. Silver is the best conductor of electricity, whereas gold is the best conductor of heat. Which is the best conductor of electricity? Silver. Which is best conductor of heat? Gold. Non-metals are bad conductor of heat and electricity except graphite, which is a good conductor of electricity. Graphite is an allotrope of carbon. Then last property, last difference is tensile strength. Tensile strength मतलब मजबूती उसकी. So metals have high tensile strength, whereas non-metals have low tensile strength. This is all about today's presentation. I'm coming back to the meat. Okay, and after that, I'll ask you questions. So, have all of you understood today's class?
Yes, sir.
कोई doubt?
Yes,
किसी
sir.
को? हाँ, yes, you may ask your doubt. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Nilay, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Have you any doubt regarding today's class?
No, sir.
Okay. So, I'm going to stop the recording and